Hello friends, this is Sastri from Raj Option Trading. Today is December 17, 2021. Let's talk about top semiconductor stocks. So with that, we'll do a quick market update. Look at the top semiconductor stocks, the small cap, mid cap and the large cap. And also let's review a few charts and rank top semiconductor stocks like NVDA, AMD, AEHR, Umbrella and so on and so forth. So with that, let's jump in. And please subscribe if you like my videos. That will give me inspiration to produce even better quality videos. Thank you very much. So with that, let's jump in. So as you look through here, we got few great companies. We got NVIDIA, Lam Research, AMD, Applied Materials, Skyworks, and MRVL. All great companies. Let's stack them together and see what's at the top, what's at the bottom, what's the quality stock here, and do some long-term investment. So with that, let's jump in and get started. So as you look through here from a market update perspective, let's jump in into Thinkorswim platform and see how the futures are doing. And before that, let's look at yesterday's market action. As you look through here, yesterday we had a down day. Nasdaq, which is tech heavy, really came down pretty hard here. The hardest hit sector yesterday was Nasdaq here, looked down 2.47%. All the growth rotation out of growth stocks is causing the issue here, and we have more declining stocks than advancing stocks. So that's why it's a good time to buy some quality stocks instead of chasing the high performance stocks here. It's good to go after some beaten down stocks. That way, when the sector rotation is over, you are there for a nice bounce back. So with that, let's jump in here. So from a news perspective, we got two metaverse stocks that could make you richer. We got Nvidia and Unity. I like both of them here. Both are great stocks here. And then we got Umbrella here. Umbrella is a high flying stock. Since the last 2 years or so, this stock got caught fire. So right now it's down. So let's see if it's good to buy some Umbrella here and go from there. And then you got MRVL. MRVL is a 5G play. It's a great stock here. On this pullback, you could buy some MRVL and sock it away. And then you got your supercharged stocks here. We got CrowdStrike, Applied Material, and Splunk. I love all these names here. I've been buying slowly and accumulating all these three great stocks here. And Splunk has been beaten down so much. It's completely down at this time. And then you got Lattice Semiconductor here. They expand capabilities. I think that's a good one here. And then you got Apple here. Look at the good old days of 2000s where everybody wanted to go through the contract manufacturers and suppliers. Now look, the trend is reversing. Companies are looking at vertical integrations and they're building their own chips. The great news is really the moment you build hardware, software together, you can really bring the engineered system together without too much friction and performance impact. That's why more and more companies like Apple, they're bringing in all this wireless and chip in-house so they can have a nice integrated solution and give better performance and quality for the consumers. So downside is we have all these chip manufacturers and the chip suppliers like Avago or Broadcom, and we got NXP and Skyworks. They will take some short-term hit and then they will do well afterwards. And then got NXP here. NXP announced strategic partnership here. I think NXP is also a good one to buy here. And then got Applied Material. They got hit with the supply chain disruptions. Could be good to buy some Applied Materials on this, Fed-induced pullback here. So with that, let's jump in and look at yesterday's market action. So yesterday, let's jump in here and look at futures here. As you look through here from a futures perspective, we have a down day in the market right now. Look, we got S&P 500 future down 30, Nasdaq future down big time here 149, and we got Dow Jones also down 173, and we got Russell 2000 also down. It's a good time to buy some quality stocks here. Don't worry about this whole big sell-off as long as you keep your mind focused and buy some quality stock. Don't buy too much. Buy maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, or 100. Don't buy too much, so that way you can buy these quality stocks. When these bounce back, they bounce back hard. So with that, let's jump in and look at semiconductor stocks. All right, so we have semiconductor ETF here. As you look through here, you got QQQ, which is technology and biotech. Did nicely in 1 year, 27%. 5 years and 10 years did great here. And then you got technology ETF XLK, which is one of my favorite. As you can see, it did great. It did 690% in 10 years, even better than QQQ here. Then look, we got SMH semiconductor ETF here. Did much better than XLK and QQQ. Did great long term. That's why we have to look at the short term issues as a opportunity to buy some of these great names here. Look, semiconductor will outperform even for years to come. With all this digitization, these guys will do really great. Think about all the virtual reality, augmented reality, gaming. The backbone or the brains behind it is the semiconductor. That's why I'm bullish. I'm taking advantage and buying some of these great semiconductor stocks on this pullback, keeping in mind the long-term growth story is intact. Look, 10 years, 1064. And then you got SOX here, again a semiconductor ETF. Look, the performance is 1131 in 10 years. So that's why it's always good to look at the long-term perspective and then buy, by taking advantage of the short-term weakness. So with that, let's jump in and look at top semiconductor stocks. Let's go with the small cap stocks. And many of you love small cap stocks because it can give you nice bounce here and could be great investments for the future. This is how you can spot some of these next NVIDIA or next AMD if you're careful and look at the fundamentals and the long-term story. So with that, let's jump in and look at small cap stocks here. As you look through here, we got uh, micro and nano, very small cap stocks on the top here. Look, we got some of the stocks which are doing well from a sales growth and gross margin perspective. Look, TRT, MRAM, PXLW, EMKR, all these have got nice sales growth and gross margin, handily beat rule of 40. That's why they're highlighted in the blue here, green background here. You could look at some of these names. And look, we got EMKR. It's also positive. There's a net margin positive. You could look at that one too. And all these names, with the exception of RESN here, they all have low price to sales ratio. So all of them are good here, probably with the exception of RESN. So you could pick up some quality stock like Amcor or PXLW or MRAM or TRT and go from there. And also keep watching RSI. Right now TRT RSI is too high. Look, it's shot up so much here. I would wait for a little pullback from a timing perspective. With that, we have small cap next. As you can look through here, few small cap stocks here I have highlighted in green background. You got AEHR, which is a high flying stock here, AOSL, and so on and so forth. And keep watching the RSI here. Some of these have got a little bit higher RSI, for example AOSL here. But others work here. You could buy AEHR, which is beaten down here, and you could buy SGH here. RSI is 55, and also nice sales growth. And HiMax is also one of my favorite. It's beaten down big time here. Right now, HiMax has a high RSI here. I would wait for a little pullback on this one here. And then you got a few more here. You could look at VECO, COHU, and LESR. And probably COHU has got a high RSI here. You could wait on that one. But otherwise, all great place here. So with that, now let's jump in and look at some of these mid-cap names here. See what we can buy. From a mid-cap stock perspective, we got great mid-cap stocks here. Mid-caps are a little more, risk averse, as you can say here, because they got a little more higher market cap here. They're not as volatile as small cap stocks here. Look, we got great stocks here. We got Cytime, MXL, ACLS, all good stocks. Keep watching here. The quarter over quarter sales growth and gross margin, all of these have got positive gross margin and positive sales growth, with the exception of few companies like MXL and Umbrella, and one more here, Rambus and CCMP. All of these are making money. These are net margin positive companies. They are making money right now. And from an RSI perspective, even after this pullback, few stocks are still high from an RSI perspective. You could wait for a little pullback, but we got stocks like SITM. As you can see, our RSI is low here. Stock has pulled back pretty nicely here. You could buy some of those names here and go from there. And also keep watching here. We got price to sales ratio also. If you're worried about valuation, go after a little bit lower price to sales ratio. For example, SITM, little high price to sales ratio. Same story with Umbrella and LSCC. I like LSCC here. It's a great stock here. You could look at relatively lower valuation and go from there also. So in a nutshell, I like stocks like Umbrella. You got to be careful though on the timing. This can burn you if you buy at the top here. And I also like stocks like SITM and LSIC, KLIC, all great stocks here. You could buy some into this weakness and go from there. Look, nice performance even after this drop here. Nice 1 year performance, and many of these stocks have got nice 5 year performance. These are not one trick pony. These guys can do very well even in the long term, evidenced by nice triple digit or double digit 5 year performance. And next, let's look at a few more here, mid cap names. Continuation, as you can look through here, all of these have got nice sales growth and nice gross margin, and also nice net margin. As you can see, all these companies make money. You could take advantage of this downturn here and buy these great stocks here. Keep watching the sales growth here. All most of these have got double digit sales growth. That tells you these companies put sales growth quarter after quarter. Look, nice 1 year sales growth. All solid companies. Temporary pullback could be great buying opportunity here, and go from there. Next, let's look at large cap semiconductor stocks. These are suitable for a little more risk averse investors. You could look at these and buy some of these names here. All great names here. Keep watching the sales growth, double digit sales growth, and also 1 year sales growth is also double digit, as you can see here for most of these companies. And almost many of these have got nice net margin. These companies make money, not money losers, with the exception of a Global Foundry. I like this one also. This is a new company here, new IPO, I should say. And also Wolf, I think it's also a little bit negative from a net margin perspective. But I think all these stocks work here. Great names. I love Skyworks. Xilinx may be acquired by AMD here, but you could look at other stocks like ON, MRVL, AMD, NXPI, AMAT, all work here. Great names here. I love Lam Research is one of the great stock here. We got KLA Tencor, again a great one here. Texas Instruments. Teradyne is a rocket ship. I like this steady Eddie company here. Synaptics is a great stock here. They do very well quarter in quarter. Look, nice performance here. So with that, look at these companies. All have put up so much performance in 5 years. They're not one trick pony. They're struggling. Some of these are struggling a little bit in the near term, but the long term story is intact. So with that, let's jump in and look at mega cap stocks here. These are the big cap stocks here. These might become $1 trillion stocks pretty soon. As you look through, we got NVDA at the top here, $709 billion market cap. This can be our next $1 trillion company, as you can see here. Nice sales growth, nice gross margin, and also look, performance is great. 6 month, 1 year, 5 year. So you could take advantage of this downturn here and buy quality stock like Nvidia. And Qualcomm, I've been following Qualcomm since dot-com era. This has been a great stock even back in dot-com days. Even now it's doing great. And sometimes you get some negative press around Apple and they're doing their own chips and Qualcomm is out of Apple and all those stories. But this That's the opening bell. So, but still, this company is putting up new great performance year after year. I think it's a great story. And we got a few more of my favorite here: ASML, Avago, Taiwan Semi, Intel. All these are great stocks here. Look at Avago here, or Broadcom as we call it. Broadcom is great, as you can scan through here. A little bit high debt to equity ratio. RSI a little high. Stock went higher after the earnings. Now it's pulling back here. You could take advantage of this pullback here, buy this great Avago or Broadcom stock here and go from there. Look, nice 5-year performance. So I would, also nice volume as you can see here. I would look at these companies here. All great companies. These are making money as you can see here. We got highest net margin in Taiwan Semiconductor. Next, we got here NVDA, great net margin. Companies making money end of the day. So with that, let's jump in here and try to compare. Before we compare, let's look at the stocks where we have volume greater than 1 million shares traded, low RSI below 55, and positive gross margin and positive sales growth. So we can look at a subset of these companies and go from there. So as you look through here, these are the subset of the companies. Keep watching. All these companies have got nice sales growth, nice gross margin, and nice net margin in many cases here. Look, I like Skyworks, NVIDIA, even STM, AMD, all great names here. We should take advantage of this Fed induced pullback here. Buy some of these names. And if you're a little bit careful about the valuation, keep watching the valuation price to sales ratio here. If there's a high multiple like NVIDIA, I'm not too much worried about NVIDIA, but if you're worried about high valuation like NVIDIA, go after low valuation stocks. Maybe Lattice just 21 here, that might work. And also you could look at other names here like Texas Instruments, very steady Eddie here. If you're risk averse, you could look at stocks like Texas Instruments, which is just 10 price to sales ratio. That's a great stock to buy also. And you could look at other names here like AMD is a good one, just 11 is the price to sales ratio. And you could go after some of these candidates. Even Skyworks, look, price to sales ratio is 5 here. So with that, even Intel here, Intel works very low price to sales ratio. It's been struggling off late, but it's a great one to buy at these levels. And KLA-Tencor, again, low valuation here, just 8 is the price to sales ratio. So with that, let's jump in here. Also keep watching the volume here. Nice volume. Wherever you see the green background in the volume, that tells you these are more than double normal volume. So with that, let's jump in here and look at ranking these stocks here. Before we rank, let's go into Thinkorswim platform, look at the stock charts and see how are these stocks doing from a technical analysis perspective. So with that, let's jump in here. Let's look at the semiconductor stocks. All right, so let's start looking at a couple of these names here. On the top, we got NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a great stock here. Jetson Wong, CEO here, he's a great guy here. As you look through here, nice stock chart. They give you some buying opportunities time to time. Those are the great buying opportunities. Even the one we have right now, it's a great buying opportunity. Stock is trying to bounce off of its 100-day moving average, as you can see here. Look, on the balance volume is telling you there is still a lot of buyers in this stock here. I think it's a great stock to buy. Many of these portfolio managers, they will take this opportunity, buy these quality names before the year ends, so that way they can show these great stocks like NVIDIA and AMD in their portfolio, and also buy this on this down tick here, but for a nice bounce back here. AMD, same story here, great stock here. Stock is pulling back off late, trying to bounce off of its 100-day moving average. Nice on the balance volume. I'm a buyer of AMD also here. Then you got Applied Material, again one of my favorite stocks. Same story here. Look, it's also trying to bounce off of its 100-day moving average here. Nice on the balance volume. There is no hesitation here. Folks are buying this company into this temporary weakness here. And then we got LRCX, one of my favorite here, Lam Research, great stock here, trying to pull back into bounce off of its 50-day moving average here. On the balance volume is intact, more buyers than sellers. I like this also. It's a great company to buy. And let's look at a few more. All right, so now let's look at the Cirrus Logic here, one of the steady eddy type name. Look, stock went up pretty quickly. Now it's giving back here. It's trying to bounce off of its 25-day moving average here. I would wait a little bit on this one here. RSI 60, a little bit high for me. I would wait for a little more pullback here. On the other hand, Skyworks is a great even up here. Look, stock is coming down here. There is a news about Apple bringing the wireless chip manufacturing in-house and hiring some great skilled engineers. That's why the stock is coming down here. I would buy the stock into this downturn. There is a lot of addressable market here. These folks can do very well. And these are short-term issues here around the news about Apple hiring the engineers. I think it's a good one to buy long-term. And then you got MRVL here. MRVL is very, very, very strong here. Look, there is a nice gap up here. Now it's giving that back here. I would come back and buy in MRVL around 74 or 70 here. Right now, RSI is 56, a little bit high, but it's a quality stock. I would be a buyer of MRVL on this pullback here. Look nice on the balance volume, tells you more buyers than sellers. Next, we got NXPI, again a great stock here, exposure to auto manufacturing. Look, stock is RSI is just 47 here. On the balance volume is intact. Stock is trying to bounce off of its 100-day moving average. I'm a buyer of NXPI at these levels here. So with that, let's jump in and look at ranking and go from there. So let's rank NVIDIA, AMD, AEHR, Umbrella, Lattice, Cirrus Logic, Skyworks, on Marvell, AMAT, NXP, and LRCX or Lam Research. So as you look through here from a fundamental perspective, all great stocks here. Look, nice volume here for most of these names here, with the exception of AEHR, a little bit lower volume compared to other stocks here. But on the 3-month average, it's a great 1 million plus volume here. And Cirrus Logic at times volume could be tad lower, but all great stocks here. All these stocks are below their market cap here. Even if you sell the company, you'll get nice profit here. A little bit undervalued from these levels due to the recent market pullback here. So with that, let's jump in and look at analyst recommendation. As you look through here, NVIDIA has got a lot of analysts following, 61 analysts highest in here, and a lot of them have got strong buy rating. That tells you something about the stock here. There is no strong sell rating or no sell rating. So that's why NVIDIA is a great name here. They got a legendary CEO thinking outside of the box and thinking 10, 20 years out and building the solution right now. And he knows some of these will take time to for the market exceptions. So that's why it's a great company, legendary CEO. He thinks multi-year out. And then you got AMD again, Lisa Su, legendary leader. It's a buy rating here. There is few hold rating as you can see here, but I would recommend buying AMD. It's a great stock here. Then you got AEHR. This stock caught fire last year and early this year. It's giving some back right now. There is no rating right now, as you can see, but we got few analysts following this stock also. And look, it's given back so much. It's down 43%, and one of the stocks which is down the most in this list here. And then we got Umbrella. Umbrella is one of my favorite stock. This stock caught fire 2 years ago. This used to struggle along with GoPro maybe a couple of years ago. Those days are in the back view mirror right now. Umbrella is doing great off late. Look, a lot of analysts are following here. There's one sell rating down big time off late. Could be a good buy, good opportunity to buy some Umbrella. And we got a few more as you can look through here. Lattice, Cirrus Logic, so on and so forth. Keep watching here. A lot of these analysts are following these stocks here, and all of these stocks are have got a higher target price than their current stock price here. That tells you analysts are bullish about these names. Look, we got some hold ratings here on NXPI, Lam Research, as well as Skyworks. and folks are a little bit worried about some of these latest drop offs and supply chain. Could be good to buy some of these names here. And next, let's look at a few more categories here. And revenue is very, very, very important. I pay close attention to actual revenue number itself. Look, NVIDIA has got a great revenue, and you should also look at the revenue growth, both quarter over quarter. And if you're a long-term investor, look at the year-over-year revenue growth. That tells you how is the top line growing. You want companies to grow their top line. That's why look here, NVIDIA, even with this huge revenue number here, 24 billion, they're putting up 50%, 60% revenue growth. That tells you something about the company. They're performing really well. They're growing their top line revenue. Same story with the AMD here. Nice, their growth is even better than NVIDIA, as you can see here. It's a nice story here. And same story with AEHR, even though it's off of a smaller basis, which is just 20 million. And look, all of these names are doing great here from a sales growth perspective, from a top line perspective. Even 5-year revenue growth, nice projection here with the both NVIDIA doing great here with the 5-year revenue growth here, along with AMD, which is again 29%. And you got other names like On Semiconductor and Lam Research, all have got nice past 5-year revenue growth. These are steady Eddie companies, not one trick ponies. And then comes our bottom line. As you grow top line, you should also watch your bottom line, and basically have a nice control around your gross margin and net margin, and streamline the operations, as we say here. Look, NVIDIA is doing great job, gets a top score here, and even AMD doing good job controlling the bottom line. AEHR, Umbrella, they're still early stage companies. They're not doing great from a net margin perspective, but doing good from a gross margin perspective. And we got MRVL. They are also doing great from gross margin, but not profitable yet. Next, let's look at a few more categories here. Look at margins, debt, and valuation. So look here, as you look through here, NVIDIA, AMD doing great, as you can see here. NVIDIA has got a little more debt, as you can see here, a little higher debt to equity ratio, not too much, it's just 0.5, completely manageable. And as you look through, NVIDIA doing great here. They don't have too much debt. That's a good story here. And look, AEHR is struggling a little bit with their operating cash flow and free cash flow. Smaller companies, small scale here. That's why it's good to buy at these levels, but understand they're struggling a little bit from a cash flow perspective here, negative cash flow. And Umbrella is a little bit a smaller company here. They don't have too much operating cash flow, and even revenue is a little bit lower compared to other companies, but has got good growth story. And as you scan through here, many of these companies are doing great. As you see here, positive operating cash flow, positive free cash flow. That's good to know. And as you look through here from a price to debt to equity perspective, look, NXPI has got a little higher debt here. Probably they got to have some capital equipments, which may be okay, not too much, but I would watch out this debt to equity ratio here. And from a valuation perspective, I know many of you are concerned about valuation. NVIDIA gets a little higher valuation, 29, as you see here. And then you got AMD, which is lower valuation. If you're a value type investor here, probably you should go after AMD here, not NVIDIA. But I love NVIDIA also because they have a great vision for the future, and also AMD also has that. As you scan through here, we got AEHR, Umbrella, LSCC, all have got a little bit higher valuation here, but Cirrus Logic, Skyworks, On have got lower valuation, and AMAT, look, it's a great value here. You could buy this at a lower price to sales multiple, along with the NXPI, and LRC has got a little higher price to sales ratio, but it's a good one here. And we also have PE ratio here for the folks who want to see PE ratio. Look, NVIDIA, LSCC, even I think those two are high PE ratio candidates here. You could take a look at those. And price to growth ratio. Many of you like price to growth ratio. And if it is around 1 or below 1, those are great ones here. AMD maybe okay, it's 1.22, just above 1 here. And you got stocks like Skyworks, and even On is a great story from a PEG perspective, below 1. And you could also look at others like AMAT and LRCX. And there are a lot of companies making money in this market rotation. You should look at companies with the positive earnings like NVIDIA, like AMD, and LSCC, and so on and so forth. Watch out a little bit for AEHR, Umbrella, and Marvel, because many times this market does not have patience for the companies not having earnings. That's why it's good to go after stocks or companies with the earnings like NVIDIA, AMD, and so on and so forth. Watch out for negative earnings like AEHR, Umbrella, as well as Marvel. So with that, let's jump in here and look at a few more categories. And just like we want the past growth and past history to be perfect, we want future projections also to be great. So with that, look here, NVIDIA, great growth, earnings per growth this year, next year, great sales growth this year, next year, even ROE, ROA, all great here. I would love both NVIDIA or AMD. They came out to the flying ranks here for the future growth perspective, along with the LSCC, Cirrus Logic, Skyworks On. They also did very well here, and LRCX and AMAT, great stories here. And looks like Marvel is struggling from a this year EPS growth perspective, and also it's struggling from a return on equity and ROA perspective. Company's management effectivity is not great at this time. So with that, let's jump in and look at few more categories. As you look through from a technical analysis perspective, I know one thing I always do is I look at fundamentals first, and then I look at the technicals. Technicals tell me is it a good time to entry and buy at this time. Typically I look at two technical indicators most time by default. One is RSI, or relative strength index. It tells me whether the price in last 14 days is it oversold or is it overbought. Anytime you see RSI below 55 or 50, that's a good entry point when the fundamentals are good. And I also look at money flow index. Money flow index takes into consideration both last 14 days price movement as well as the volume. It's a volume weighted RSI as we call it. So anytime you see a lower money flow index, those are the good entry points, provided we have got nice fundamentals like we are looking at right now. On the other hand, Cirrus Logic has got a high money flow index. You should wait for a little more pullback here. And also look here, we got Marvel, a little bit high money flow index. You should wait for a little pullback here, but others are all good to buy at these levels here. And also look for catalysts like put call ratio. Many times whenever there's a put call ratio higher than 1, that tells you in the options market folks are betting the stock will go lower and they're buying more put options than call options. Look, AEHR, LSCC, Cirrus Logic, Skyworks, and even NXPI all have got little more put options traded here in the options market. Folks are betting these have got a little more downturn here. On the other hand, look, NVIDIA, AMD have got even less than 0.50 put call ratio. That tells you in the option market folks are buying call option hand over fist and taking advantage of this downturn here. So with that, let's jump in here and look at a few more things here and go from there. We got here past performance. It's great to look at the past performance. I got here all the way from 1 week to 10 years, so that way you know which stocks are not one trick pony and what stocks have got what it takes to win in the long term. Look, clearly Nvidia and AMD, they come out in flying colors. Great stocks here, good performance in the long term, temporary pullback. I think all these 4 or 5 stocks up to LSCC, same story here. But Cirrus Logic is story is intact. They're still doing well. Look, nice performance. They've been putting out performance very nicely. Skyworks is struggling hard here with the Apple coming up with their own chip design and hiring engineers. That's why it's pulling back nicely. Could be a good one to buy at these levels. And many of these stocks, as you can see here, long-term story is intact. Look at 1 year, 2 year, 5 year return. All of them got positive return here. That's why it is good to buy these great names here and go from there. Look, we got highest performance in AEHR, Right now it's struggling. There is a cash, free cash flow negative, as you can see here, but still a long, nice growth story here. And look at AMD here, nice 2650. It's one of the great performer in last 10 years. This used to be a like $3-4 stock just 5-6 years ago or so. So I would look at these stocks here. All of these work. I will also rank them as you go forward. You can look at what's at on the top and go from there. And next, let's look at moving average. I also look at moving average as an indicator. Look, we got NVIDIA below its 10-day moving average, 20-day moving average. That tells you short-term performance issues right now. Long-term story is still intact, as you can see here. And we got a little bit more short-term problems in AEHR, Umbrella, LSCC. You could take advantage of these things here. Skyworks is beaten down here, as you can see here. It's even below its 200-day moving average. So this kind of tells me what's moving, what's hot, what's not. So I would take advantage here, buy great stocks like NVIDIA, AMD. If you're a contrarian, you could buy even AEHR and Umbrella, little more high octane stocks, as we say here. And stocks like LRCX, AMAT, great steady eddy type names here. So with that, let's look at we probably look at a few more categories, and let's rank right now and see what's at the top here. As we look through here from a general market data perspective, look, we got nice names like NVIDIA. I love this stock, has done great here. Also, right now, money flow index is low. That tells you, stock is at a buy range. Good entry point here. From valuation perspective, little high, but I'm willing to pay higher valuation for NVIDIA with the legendary CEO, Jensen Huang here. And then we got AMD here. Great story. I love this stock here. Look, it's sold off here. Money flow index is 29, and price to sales ratio is even lower than NVIDIA here. Great buy. And you got few more names as you can look through here. All great ones here. Few stocks have got higher valuation here with the AEHR, Umbrella, and LSCC. You should watch them carefully. But otherwise, it's a great story. And also from a net margin perspective, few companies like AEHR, Umbrella, and MRVL, they're not doing they're not having positive net margin, but it's understandable for some of these smaller players. And take a look at the gross margin here. Look, we got a nice gross margin in NVIDIA, still great here, and Umbrella is also doing great. LSCC, great, gross margin here. Most of these companies have got nice gross margin here, all great ones here. And let's look at ranking, from a health perspective. We got from a financial perspective, NVIDIA gets a grade here, nice financials. And look here, we got many other names here, all got B grades, which is also great here. AEHR is a little bit struggling, from a financial health perspective. And Altman Z score, everybody came out of flying color, no issues here. And Piotrowski F score tells you if the financials are improving. Look, many of these names have got all above 5. That tells you their financials are improving. LSCC has got great financials improvement here with the 7, and we got few with 8 here. On semi is also improving nicely. And from a growth perspective here, look, we got nice B grade for NVIDIA, AMD, and we got B grade for Skyworks, AMAT, all great B grades. That's a great one here. And from an industry growth rank perspective, NVIDIA is outpacing its competitors and growing nicely, gets a grade 1 here. That's a great rank here for NVIDIA. And AMD is 2, and then we got Skyworks rank 1 here, growing better than all its peers. And then you got AMAT 2 and LRCX, Lam Research 1. It's a great stock. I love Lam. And then you got profitability, as you see here. Many of these companies are a little bit low on profitability, understandable. But look, NVIDIA is good here. And look, we got AMAT, profitability is great. And Lam Research, great profitability. I love that. And I think AEHR, Umbrella, and LSCC, they are struggling a little bit, which I think they should take care of it as we go forward. And then profit is very important. Look, NVIDIA, AMD gets the top rank in profit. That's good, along with the LRCX. And we got number 2 in AMAT. And even Skyworks is number one. That's good here. And from an industry quality rank perspective, great quality stocks. We got NVDA, AMD, great ones here. And we got Cirrus Logic, Skyworks, great quality here, number one. And we got LRCX, number two, and AMAT, number two. So with that, let's jump in and look at the ranks. The top spot goes to NVIDIA, doing great here. Look, almost everywhere a nice green here, with the exception of profitability. That's why they get number one here, doing great. And also vision for the future is superb for NVIDIA here. And then we got number two, Lam Research. Look across the board, we got green here. It's a great stock here, doing nicely. Even the valuation is low here. It's a great one to buy. And number three spot goes to Applied Materials. Look, green across the board here. Nice profit rank and the quality rank. And from the valuation perspective, low valuation as you can see here. And number four, we got Skyworks here. Look, Skyworks green across the board, with the exception of profitability, which is a C grade here. Nice here. Even the valuation is low for Skyworks. And next we got AMD, one of my favorite here. They got all top ranks everywhere, with the exception of profitability, which is a F here. But otherwise they get across the board green. That's why it's number five. And the future story is intact here. I like their legendary leader, Lisa Su. Number six goes to Cirrus Logic here, all green across the board. They got to improve a little bit on their growth and profitability score here. Cirrus Logic, sorry, so growth and profitability they have to improve a little bit. Otherwise, it's a good one here, and low PS ratio or low valuation. A little bit high right now. It's, as you can see here, Cirrus Logic has got a high money flow index. Probably should wait for a little bit pullback here and then buy Cirrus Logic. And then we got here LSCC. As you look through LSCC here, nice here. They have to improve their profitability a little bit. They got little higher price to the sales multiple. I think it's still okay here. And money flow index indicates stock is sold off here. We should buy some LRCX at these levels. Sorry, LSCC at these levels. Next, let's look at NXPI. NXPI gets a 8 rank here. As you look through NXPI, great stock here, a lot of auto exposure. And as you look through here, a low PS ratio or low valuation. And money flow index indicates you can wait a little bit for a pullback here, but still you could buy at these levels also. I love below 50, but 52 also works here. And next, let's look at On Semiconductor. As you look through On, mostly green as you look through here. They can improve their growth a little bit here and look low valuation. And RS Money Flow Index also indicates it's sold off here. I'm a buyer in On Semiconductor. And number 10 goes to MRVL. As you look through MRVL here, MRVL, it's great across the board. They have to improve a little bit on their growth here and profitability and industry rank and quality rank. They can also improve there. As you look through here, net margin is negative for this company. Nice growth company. They have to improve their net margin situation a little bit, but it's a great one to buy at these levels and go from there. And number 11 goes to AEHR. AEHR is a rocket ship. They have done great. Look here, 5-year performance and 1-year performance, but they have to improve their net margin situation. They have to improve their profitability and profit rank and the quality rank. That's why it gets a number 11 here. But a great high flying, high octane stock to buy on this pullback. And number 12, last but not least, Umbrella. They're doing great here. Nice performance, nice top line growth here. Not making money. Net margin is negative, as you can see here. And look, they have to improve their industry rank profitability. And look, a little bit lower rank here. That's why they got 12 here. But they also got clobbered in this sell-off here. You could take advantage and slowly buy some of these beaten down high octane stocks as they pull back and build a nice position. So with that, I hope this helps. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. Thank you. And always look for some of these RSI levels, and on the balance as you decide to buy. Along with the fundamentals, these RSI and money flow index tells you what's the good entry point, and look for catalysts like insider buying, institution buying. That can also help you. So with that, thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.